All right, what's up, guys? So my name is Justin,
My name is Ricardo.
and this is the first episode of our new show called The Journey.
Journey.
So what are we trying to do here, Ricardo?
So our basic goal is just kind of what we were talking about is expose you guys some of the ideas, some of the beliefs, you can say, the practices that we're constantly learning, and we kind of want to share that with you guys. I know there's people out there that aren't exposed to this information, maybe don't know this information, and I feel like it's very important that some of you guys know this because it really helped us, or it helped me, because I was exposed to these ideas by him, and I always tell him like it changed my mindset, it changed the way I view things, and it's really helpful. And we're not to say that we're at that level yet, like we're not
Not at all,
like
guys.
not at all.
We're 19-year-old kids in college.
Yeah, like
so
we're not saying we're better and you should listen to us. It's kind of like we're learning this and we want you to be part of it. That's why we're calling it The Journey, because we want you guys to be part of our journey and kind of grow with us. If we can really get this like working, build kind of a community and kind of like, and just hopefully help it works out. So we're kind of new at this, so we're just gonna go with the flow, and
we're learning as we go, guys. This is the first episode. I mean, obviously, we're using a phone right now with a little tripod. The setup isn't that great, but it doesn't matter. We're just starting with what we can do and where we're at. But I want to go ahead and talk about, how we came to this idea, even itself, how we kind of came to the mindset. So I'll go ahead and start off with that, and then you jump in whenever you feel like it. So basically, I feel like for my age, I just kind of think a little bit ahead. I don't know what it is, but I just think that I'm a little more forward, future thinking, that I have. It's just something that I've been able to. I wasn't born with it. It's not in any way a talent, a skill. It's a skill, but it's something that you learn. So this all started for me back in junior year of high school. I was really getting into personal development, and it would be motivational videos. So I would watch motivational videos before soccer games, before all the stuff. You remember seeing me going on the bus, listening to some Eric Thomas. So I started out with Eric Thomas, And then from there, it went to finding other guys who were a little more involved in the personal development, motivational, but also in the business world. So people who were, preaching about owning your own business, doing what you want, making your life on your terms and everything like that. So I actually got started in that space with the company, digital marketing and everything like that. That was just kind of like my first introduction into this. And I read the 10X Rule. It's a mindset book. And basically the 10X Rule was saying how just everything you want, multiply it by 10. And what you think it's going to get there, it's going to take 10 times more. So that just opened my mind to the possibilities. And that's the biggest thing, is just possibilities and what is actually out there.
Okay. Yeah, how it started for me was him. He, throughout high school, you can always see that in him. We didn't go to the same junior high. We met through soccer, and we come from different junior highs. When you're a freshman, you don't really, if you don't really go to the same junior highs, you don't really you're not friends with them. You kind of stick with the people you saw in junior high, and in soccer we kind of got a little close, and we reached the point where it was a good friendship. I started coming over to his house. We worked out. We were and you can always tell he had that mindset, even though he didn't know it. It didn't take to his junior year to kind of, really say to himself, there's so much possibility, so much things out there that we can all, do and achieve. And I always saw that in him, And then eventually he kind of, once he got into it, he would, kind of share those ideas, And at the time, I can say I didn't ignore them. I knew them, and they were helpful. He said, motivation, that's one of his things. We would play soccer, and then every time we had a big game, he would always be motivating me, because we were in the same classes sometimes, so it'd be game day. So he would give me a speech, a little quote or something, and then it'll pump you up. The whole day you're motivated, and then from there it was that little exposure. It starts off like that. I really didn't automatically switch, oh, you know what, I want to be I'm gonna change, right away. It wasn't a quick change. It started off slowly. It was like him just kind of the mentioning, and then it kind of like what he said. It started off with the book. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. One of another friend that I knew from school. I saw him reading during class, and he was reading that book, and that he didn't even know me. Like we were classmates, but he never like really talked to me. And then one day he kind of just slowly throughout the semester he would talk to me, and he was reading this book like during class. Like he didn't really care what the teacher was talking about, and I was always paying attention. And one day we just kind of got into talking, and then I think I asked him one day, he's like, oh, I'm like, what book are you reading? Why are you always reading? And it's that book, and he shared it with me kind of what the whole point was, and he's like, dude, you should read it. Like, I recommend it. It's going to change the way you see things. So I read it. I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's a really interesting book. I've been really wanting to read the 10X Rule. Is that what it's called? Yeah. That's one of the books I want to read too. But it was all like this exposure that we got through books, through friends, through like him, social media, right? All these people that are out there that they don't really brag what they've done. They share it. Like
they open up, they start a thought in your head where it's like, hey, I can do that too. Exactly. And so like the whole thing of it is just mindset, you know, breaking what you're taught your entire childhood. There's a time in your life where it's like, hey, you can do anything. But then it's like, hey, think more realistic, you know, once you actually start planning your future. No, let's not think too big. We don't want to disappoint you. Let's just go for attainable goals. Yeah. And that was something that was huge in high school, you know? Yeah. But like once you realize, hey, it's like people have done incredible stuff that were no different than me. Mm-hmm. Why can't I do that?
Exactly. Yeah, so it's like we're trying to help you. This is why how it started. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of new to this. Kind of in that mindset, getting exposure. Like I said, he kind of changed it. We don't want to get into that kind of the mindset we adapted, mm-hmm. or the mindset we want to adapt, because we want to save that for later on to get into more details into that. But for now, it's just how, and that's how we kind of started it. And then it wasn't until recently. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was. I think it was 2 Saturdays ago. 2 Saturdays. We were driving home from a business conference, and we were talking about kind of about the same thing, and we were like dropping some nuggets, you know. We were like, okay, shoot, like this is pretty good. And I stopped him and I was like, hey bro, why don't we record this right now? So we were driving home. We just kept talking, but I just opened up voice memos and started recording on my phone. 28 minutes later, we come up with this thing. Like, you know, it was an awesome talk. It was an awesome conversation, and I was like, bro, like, do we need to start a show? Do we need to like we need to share this, yeah. You know? Cause kids especially which is why like I'm doing this through Instagram mainly. It's through my friends. I want my friends to think different. I want my friends to think bigger.
Yeah. And it's not, we're not doing it because I know how that sounds. Yeah. Like we're intruding your beliefs, or we're trying to force something upon you. Like it really isn't. We are here just to, because we trying to share this, how it's getting shared to us. That's why we kind of titled it The Journey. Yeah. Because we want you guys to be part of it. And if it's for you, if you really wish that the things we're learning, the things we talk about, like you resonate with it, you feel like, okay, I think this is for me, or any of whatever we say, that maybe it can be something very like small, very like, you know, like, insignificant, but if that impacts you in some way, like that's
share it with us, share it with other people. You know, we're trying to create a community here of like-minded people. You know, like I want to have him and just some guys I recently started working with. They're the only ones who are like mindset, like thinking like this and everything. And it's cool. It's cool to be able to not just talk about like, what are you doing this weekend? But life. It's cool to talk about like your plans with your friends, your future, like what do you want to do, how you want to grow together. So I want this to be something where we interact together and people can just change. Yeah. You know? And it like he said, it's not thinking that like we're better and we're ahead. No, it's if this isn't for you, that's completely fine. It's not for everybody. But if it is for you, because there was a time when it wasn't for him. Yeah. And I would tell him, and he'd be like, "Nah, bro, like."
You know, like we'll get into more details of how like what this it'll be, but it's not like You know.
Yeah, guys, I want to stop you right there real quick. IGTV only allows us to post for 10 minutes. So I think we're getting there pretty close. If you guys want to see the full video, we're gonna post it on YouTube. I'll probably have it linked in both of our bios, or linked somewhere in this video if I can. Check it out. Go to YouTube, and if you want to continue this video, but let's jump back into it. What were you saying?
Okay, so yeah, we won't get into more details.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's like you said, it's the nuggets. It's kind of the good part, like what, but the how this started. Like, it was just like that car ride back home.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like talking about like the people there, the people that were there, the things we were kind of seeing. It was my first time being exposed to kind of like seeing this stuff. You know, he works. We'll talk about what he works at with, you know, this guy named Sam, and when he gets exposed at. So it was kind of like, you know, it was like a new insight for me. It's like, okay, like, it changed kind of a perspective. You know, you always want to be learning, and when you see things like this, you're like, okay. So we were just talking about that on the way home, and it just opened up, like, we opened up different conversations. So that's why he said, we recorded it, and then we just like, we should start something.
Yeah.
And it sounds, I'll be honest, it sounds kind of like funny. Like, it was funny, like, you know, I was like, yeah, like, I was like, yeah, like, let's do it, you know. But it was kind of funny at first, like, for me, like, it was like funny. Like, I never thought like I'd do this, especially, I mean, like, Justin's always good at this. I always tell him, like, dude, you're so good, you know. I mean, some of you that know him on his IG stories, you know, he's always posting. He doesn't care. He'll share what he's feeling. He'll share what he's doing. He'll share something. He'll share some advice, and that's cool, you know. Something, you know, and that's for me. I don't do that, you know. It's not that I don't like it. It's just,
He's,
you know,
behind the camera.
Yeah, you know, I'm behind the camera, kind of type of guy. But then, like, so doing this was kind of funny for me. Like, you know, and I'm always been that type of guy to be shy, especially like in classrooms. I'll go out and speak, and, like, you know, I was really shy. But so this is kind of like, it was always kind of like, you know. But then, like now that you hear, you feel kind of get comfortable, and it's the same. It'll apply to a lot of things.
It's just a conversation with you guys. You guys are friends. So, like we were saying, we want to build this together. So we're gonna need your help just as much as it's us too. You know, I encourage you guys to share this if you find something of value. I mean, obviously, nobody is paying us to do this. So, our fee for you guys is just to share it. Share it with one person if you find value in it. If there's something that you think your friend needs to hear, just share it, guys. And it's just two kids on their journey. We're going to bring you guys along. We're going to show you what we're trying to do, what we're failing at, what we're thinking about, everything, guys.
Everything, yeah. And like I said, we're no better than you guys.
Oh, no.
We have our faults, we have our failures, we make excuses, and I think, like, we do all this stuff that, you know, that we're trying to reach a point where we don't do that stuff. It's all like, we're trying to build. One of the things I kind of we want to, some points we want to dig is reaching one's potential, one's fullest potential as a person, and just you as an individual, and then how you can kind of be that influence towards your outside circle, you be a circle of influences, and kind of, you know, share that. And we'll be talking about stuff like that, and I kind of want to get into stuff like this, you know.
Yeah.
But then I know that we can save this for other episodes.
Yeah, this is just an intro, guys.
It's kind of the intro of how we're doing it, what we're doing.
Why
For why is, we kind of touched upon that. Like, just, we want to share this with you guys. Like I said, we're kind of like uncertain about stuff, or I'm uncertain about certain things, but I think doing this can help. Help you guys, and then hopefully just become part of the journey. Like, you know, like, you can see, like, oh, look, we don't know what we're doing exactly per se, you know. We're not totally clueless. We're rambling. But then eventually we hope, like, we get better, and hopefully you guys get better at whatever you're doing. Like, whatever. Like, it can be school.
Manifest in anything, guys. Sports, school, dance, art, whatever you guys want to do it. The principles that we're going to talk about are applicable in all walks of life, in your relationships, in anything. You can apply it to anything. So just because you might not have the same interests as us doesn't mean that you can't get something of value from it. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to make it as universal as possible. And I think that's something that we're going to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly. And nowadays, you know, a lot of people are doing this. And that's good. And we want to do something like this too.
We want to reach... Here's another thing I was thinking of. When I was thinking of, like, what's our unique angle? Like why are they going to tune into us rather than other people? Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, we're, like, people... Most of the people we know, they're not looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not looking for this thing, but we can go where they are. Mm-hmm. We can go where they are because we're friends with them. So this can pop up on your feed, and you're going to be like, oh, what are Justin and Ricardo doing? I know them. But you're not gonna see some dude who's actually like built a successful company in your field or on your feed. I mean, because you're not looking for it.
Exactly.
So we can go and we can be that initial kind of spark for you, to think like, hey, like maybe these guys are right. Let me look more into this.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we have to obviously, because there's one thing, like a lot, like credibility is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is a thing. We probably don't have like as much as credibility as like like Bill Gates or something.
Let me ask you, why should they listen to us?
I think you've already kind of said it. Is that they should listen to us because I feel like I think we can build like you said, a community and a connection of that journey. Like us going to a goal that if they see us doing it, kind of tuning in, like you said, oh, well, yeah, people always check in because Bill Gates is a billionaire. So I'm going to listen to what he said. If he's going to be talking, you listen to him. You believe him because, he, obviously, he's the success he's done, the type of person he is. But then they look at us and you're like, oh, like
these two kids.
Because why would we listen to them? They don't have anything going for, like, they haven't built a company. They're not doing this,
Here's why I think you guys should listen to us. Because we are just like you.
Yeah.
We do the same things as you do. We procrastinate. We sleep in. We do the same things just like you guys. We're friends. I know a bunch of you guys. Some of you guys I don't know, and I'm not gonna know everybody. But because we're kids and because we're in your shoes and we know what it's like to be where you are, I think that gives us a perspective that not a lot of other people can relate to.
Exactly. We're trying to reach this to kind of like the same age group.
Yeah.
Maybe, like around the same age group, maybe even younger, a little bit older.
College, elementary school, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, guys. I think that there's something that we can bring to you.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, and we also have to kind of put it into action, like hopefully they see us growing, see us doing things, especially our friends. We say we're targeting our friends because we want them to share this, like these ideas, these things that we're talking about. But then I know there's people that know us, but we don't call them friends. Kind of more of people that we people know of, and we want to help those people too, and we want to become friends or be like not super close, per se, but we want to build a community like we've been mentioning.
Yeah.
And just help everyone out.
It's honestly super cool when you can just talk about life. Like I already said that, but like if you guys haven't had that yet, or if you guys have, you know what I'm talking about. It's super cool. But another thing that this is going to be really helpful for us is it's going to be accountability for me and you.
Yeah.
So like if we're not growing, we have people to answer now too.
Yeah.
If the week before, if we're at the exact same place, then it's like, hey, they're not gonna take the BS,
Like, they'll. I think you guys will be able to see that,
Yeah.
It'll keep us accountable because we're telling you guys all this stuff, and then if you guys see us kind of the same, and I'm not saying like
you can't really tell, but we'll share it.
We'll share it.
Be vulnerable.
We'll
tell you guys what's going on. I plan to give you guys like weekly updates. Things that we're planning on doing, and next week coming back and making some progress in that area.
Like new, like things we're actually and make this practical. So whatever we mention, like let's say we talk about some certain topic or something, and like how I applied that to my life and some certain situation or circumstance in my life. Share that with you guys so you guys see like, look, we were talking about it, I did it, and this is how it turned out.
That's going to be a huge thing is application. We're going to give you guys things that you cannot just, oh, that sounds cool, that sounds good, I'm fired up for a little bit. Yeah. But we're going to give you things that you can implement today and be better tomorrow because of that.
Yeah, like apply it to your own life. In whatever ways whatever you guys are doing, because I know a lot of people are doing different things. You guys are doing your thing, and you can still apply the things we may be talking about,
who couldn't use some more success?
Exactly,
guys.
And another thing, we're gonna be talking about how to get to success, or how we wanna.
What is success for us?
For us, exactly.
How can we get there? We're gonna talk about a lot of things, guys. It's not just this success thing or the mindset. We'll talk about dumb stuff. We'll talk about things that are going on in the news. We'll talk about worldview. We'll talk about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we definitely want to get into that.
It's our journey.
It's like our journey that we want. Yeah, we want to share with you guys, and that's basically like the why we're doing it. That's what we want. Hopefully, reach and hopefully do.
Yeah.
and see how far we can take this. And then, like you said, it's gonna help us. You guys are gonna help us. I hope it turns out to be something we help you. You guys help out.
Yeah.
You know, you guys give us support. Be like, hey, you know, this is cool. What you guys are doing. I didn't expect this from you guys, or something like that. I think that'd be cool, because then we'd be like, damn, like, you know, or if this something one of us said helped you guys, be like, you know what, like that actually helped hearing, you know, and just like I applied it to my life. Like I think that'll help, but like that'll make us feel good, because
it gets
like,
you fired up.
It gets you fired
like,
down.
like we're doing something.
Like we're impacting
matters.
someone, yeah, and it matters, and then gets us pumped up, and we in our own lives, like, you know, like it just cycles.
So
and
guys,
hopefully that transpires, and I kind of feel it right now.
Oh yeah,
I feel it right now. I feel a little. I'm getting a little pumped. Probably going to the gym, get that pumping, and you know, like I feel it. Like it feels good, and I think this is gonna help us, because it's gonna keep us accountable. I think that's one thing, like one thing I'm looking for. I don't want to get into it too much, but that's one thing I hope that we get from this: accountability.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, just a quick little, just like a snippet, just like sometimes, you know, you make promises, you want to do things, but you don't do them. You know. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to get into it, because we probably have certain stories that we want to say, or things that we promise and you never do. And we can go a whole, you know, half-hour stuff going into this. But yeah, just that's why we want to do it, and hopefully it really helps. Like right now it's our first episode. I'm already feeling it.
Yeah.
I feel it, and hopefully it just gets better from here.
Yeah.
It gets better from here.
Guys, this is episode 1. I'm telling you right now, I'm saying it here. This is going to be the #1 show in the world at one point in this category. You guys heard it here. You guys heard it here.
Yeah,
all right?
Our goal is to impact people. Like, actually impact people. If I really, like I've never impacted someone, like, in a very big way.
When he tells me that I'm kind of the person who introduced me, it makes me feel amazing.
Yeah, you know?
Having that effect on person is amazing. So we want to, it's selfish.
I want to feel that. I haven't felt that yet. I mean, you know, in a very, like, deep way. You know, you maybe impacted someone by, you know, and I'm not saying this is not, like, as big. You know, maybe you show love to someone, or you've sold advice, like some advice to someone, and that helped them. You kind of impacted some sort of, but in a way where, like,
changing the course of someone's life.
Yeah, or in anything. You know, life and in your sports and whatever's, and changing the way you think and making it a habit from here on out. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I maybe sparked that, you know, cool. It's gonna be cool. Yeah. And I'm already thinking about it, and I'm already, like, excited. Yeah. And I hope, you know, whoever's watching this, whoever actually watches this and stayed this long, and maybe didn't laugh. You probably laughed. Our friends probably laughed. What's up,
at guys?
us.
How you doing?
But it's all good. You guys probably laughed, and I'm probably laughing right now. We'll probably laugh after this, but like, on the serious note, I hope it really does, like, impact you guys, or something. Let us know, honestly. Just go and let us know, like, really, like, what you guys think of this. Like, just let us know. Let us know, and we kind of want to, and then from here on out, like,
we're gonna make it huge, guys.
Just make it huge, and make this a regular thing, and hopefully, like, reach a point where we got this. We got this.
All right, guys. So this is episode 1. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys like it, comment something. Just share the love, guys. Appreciate it. Support means a lot for us. It goes a long way, knowing that people are actually liking this. So, like I said, it'll be posted on YouTube. This is actually probably on YouTube. We'll try to get it on the podcast app, iTunes, Spotify. We'll try to get it on all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll try to get it on that, or on our Instagrams, Snapchats, and stuff like that.
Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in with us for this half hour, whatever it was, and we'll see you guys next time.
Alright, see you.